channel. Welcome back if you are a subscriber. So in this video I'm going to be talking about a few games that I would recommend to people who are just maybe starting out at gaming or starting out with console gaming or are just complete beginners in general and would like to get stuck in. This recommendations going to be mostly for PS4, PS5, but a lot of these games, I think if not all of them, are available on PC and on Xbox. So I have a variety of games on this list, so don't worry, there is literally something for everybody. Yeah, there's something for everybody. Like, you're gonna find a game that you like on this list. So me personally, I have been a console gamer and a PC gamer for years. I have been less on the PC gaming side for the past couple of years. So this will be recommendations of games that I would recommend to a beginner. Yeah, like if you want to start out, and it's not necessarily going to be easy games or like games that you are really super simple, but it will be games that I think getting a control and getting like a grasp of the controls and stuff like that will be fairly simple. So despite popular conception, a lot of women are actually gamers, and yeah, like I think we're not as reflected in the media and publicly as much as we should be. So even if you play Candy Crush and you're a girl, I'm sorry, you're one of us. I think more people should get into like gaming in general, and women especially. Don't be afraid to be a visible gamer. I don't know whether we're still doing that now in 2022. But for the last couple people that need a nudge into gaming, I'm here, I got you. But yeah, this is for everyone who wants to get into gaming. There's no specific gender for any of these games whatsoever. So into the video. So the first game I'm going to be recommending is my favorite, and it's Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed is like my all-time favorite game. I don't know what it is. It's something about the missions, it's the history, it's the vibe. I just love it. Assassin's Creed 2, one of the best games ever made in my opinion. The first three games follow a chronological story. Basically let me broadly say it's set in Italy. It's centered around this family who have secret ties to an assassin's collection. Basically they work in the shadows to try and stop, like, how do I describe it? They work in the shadows to try and stop these shady people who are trying to take over the world. What I find really interesting about it is that it's set in like a sci-fi-ish kind of, and when I say sci-fi, it's set in the future at first because you're playing one of the ancestors of the Italian family, and yeah, I think like that futuristic thing is pretty interesting because they have a couple cool technologies. Sometimes you switch gameplay and you play as that person in the present, but a majority of the game is set in the past, and I love that part. Like personally, that's my favorite part of like the whole game. I think the gameplay is really cool. The controls, they're fun to play around with, as in it will keep you on your toes. They're usually like going around, completing missions, which could be assassinations, it could be like chases. Some of the parkour that they do is like really fun. You'll be like free running across buildings and stuff like that. This is all set in 16th century Italy. You can like build your own town as well. You're supposed to like recover all of the enemy parts of the town. I think it's not in Rome. It moves around Italy, and yeah, I just love that. So I would say definitely start off with the trilogy, Assassin's Creed 1, 2, 3. Some of the other titles you may have heard can be kind of hit and miss, but I know there's a couple that I really like. I really enjoyed Syndicate. So the next game I'm going to be recommending is going to be GTA 5. You have definitely heard of GTA, like even if you don't game or you don't play anything, like GTA has always been that game that people talk about. Like, you play as this, the main character, and you're like, you roll around the hood. The layout, the environment of GTA is really fun, lots of freedom. You can do all kinds of wild, crazy things on there. Like, I think GTA is a really solid game. Storyline wise, personally, I follow the storyline. I think I completed the storyline, but it wasn't like my main thing. I just enjoy driving around, you know, knocking down pedestrians. So GTA is set around a few characters. I think it's a drug dealer, a gang member, and a robber. You go around committing crimes. That is the aim of the game. So if that sounds like your cup of tea, buy it. So the next game I'm going to recommend is one of my personal favorites, and I'm sure a lot of people's personal favorites, and that is Sims 4. Sims has been a huge franchise since it came out. It's literally, I think, the best of its kind. If you've ever dabbled with IMVU and that kind of thing, it's like Sims, but Sims is even greater. Like, you can live every single one of the alternate lives you've ever wanted to live. Like, if you wanted to be a rock star, do it. If you wanted to be a doctor, you're not, play in Sims. You wanted to be a restaurant owner, you wanted to be a chef, all of these different things. Plus you can customize the characters however you want. Even if you want to be someone completely different, like literally not yourself, you can be that character. You want to run other families' lives, you can do it. Sims is such a great outlet for just like almost envisioning that. For me, I could almost use it like a mood board of what kind of life would I live if I lived on an island? What kind of life would I live if I started a family really early? Obviously, if you're into like design, interior design, architecture, all of that, Sims is a really good place to like build your dream home or build your dream building. Usually build a household, whether you have one person, two people, couple, tons of people, like they all live in the household, and you usually will play around the household, build the house, build their lives, get them a job, raise kids, have family. One of my Sims characters is definitely living her hot girl summer, and I love that for her. I really love my Sims stories. There's different things going on in every household. Like, I have like a rich fashion girl with her family and her sister living with her, but then there's a bit of friction between her and her sister. The main woman is always usually modelled after me, but all different lives. But yeah, I digress. It uses a lot of imagination as well, despite everything just being done for you, but you have to like create a lot. It's literally creating your own world, and I think that's why it's loved so much. If you are into making your own world, if you're not looking for like particularly a story-based game or a game that you need to follow or complete missions and stuff like that, Sims is great. You just keep up with whoever's life you want to build. That's it. This particular game is again one of the greatest, like one of the best, and that is Resident Evil. Resident Evil, I think, is the greatest horror game series franchise ever made, period, point, dot. I'm putting it right there. Some of the jump scares that will get you will just blow your mind. Oh, it is stressful to play that game. It's so weird that I'm recommending it because it's stressful, but obviously if you're a fan of horror, if you like scary things, if you like something trying to scare you and you're like, oh no, I don't get scared of things, play Resident Evil. Let me see if you're not scared, because I don't even like get shook at horror movies like that, but when I'm playing the game, like there's just so much going on and I'm feeling so overwhelmed. Oh my god, I remember I was playing one with my friend. She was like helping me with the walkthrough because I think I just didn't know what to do in that particular instant. One of the characters was chasing after us with an axe. Oh my god. I was like, where do I go? Where do I go? And she's like getting stressed because I'm yelling at her, she's yelling at me. Eventually, yeah, I died. Usually always set with some kind of zombie outbreak or some kind of virus outbreak, or everyone starts going crazy or people start getting infected by something, which is really, it's really, you know, spooky actually, you know, when you think about it after the life we have lived. So it has really interesting, semi-complicated gameplay. Once you get a hang of like switch gun, switch knife, switch this, you've pretty much got it. You're shooting zombies / infected people and you're trying to get to the bottom, like the root cause of what caused this outbreak. And sometimes it's like wild stuff, like it's not just, okay, cool, this happened or this pharmacy released this virus. Sometimes it is, yeah, this cult has somehow brought upon this plague and it's all messed up. Like, it can get real dark. No, it is real dark. dark, like it is spooky sometimes. Oh my god, the one that I was playing, I can't. I'm gonna be shooting a video actually of me trying to play the game that traumatized me. We'll see how I get. We'll see how far I get into the game. Even thinking about playing it now is scaring me, but it should make for a very interesting video. The game I am saying next is Tomb Raider. If you have seen the Lara Croft movies, the one with, you know, Angelina Jolie, you know, yes, that's the one. If you want to play a game with a badass heroine, it is for you. Kind of similar to Resident Evil, but again, Lara Croft's more of like an adventurer type mystery solver. There's a lot of like shooting and all sorts in the game too. You're adventuring, you're doing maybe a bit more like climbing, jumping. So great use of weapons and adventure. I love it. And again, you're playing with a female protagonist. The next game I'm gonna mention is fairly new. It doesn't really have much of a history, as much as a history as the other games that I've been mentioning. So the game is Detroit Become Human. Set in the city, and it is like, it's really interesting. You play from the perspective of 3 androids. They've become sentient. Like, it's kind of spooky. It's like that futuristic feel. The first android is a detective, and like he's investigating the crimes of sentient androids. The second android is a caretaker, and he has the power to give other androids sentiency. Oh my god, this is bad because I really should know this one. Intelligence. The last android you can play as is the housekeeper. I think it's the housekeeper. She becomes the adoptive mother to this human girl. You have like so much choice in the game, to the point that like even the conversations you have with people, like you can literally decide how it goes. You have so many options of what you say to them. For example, with the police investigator, you can like literally talk someone down from a ledge, or you can push them off it. If you weren't looking for more of a heavy, okay, press this button or do this or button mash this, this is the kind of game like you literally just play along. It's almost like a movie, and you just decide how the story goes. You know, I feel like with the investigative story, with the mystery, it's giving complex Professor Layton, DS Gang, like I know you mean. So the final 2 games I'm going to be recommending is sports games. If you're not into all these adventure or supernatural or sci-fi-ish kind of game, you just want a to the point sports game, these are the perfect games to begin with. So FIFA is one of the staples in any sports collection, any game collection really. Even people I know who don't like football have FIFA. FIFA is that game. It boasts a really large amount of players and gamers, and I really enjoy the direction that it's going in recently. I feel like I really am enjoying this whole like actually controlling the players' lives, or your players' lives. It adds like another layer to the game, where it's not just almost you play a match and done. It's like you can do more, you can spend more time on the game. I was really loving playing it on PS5, the customization, the quality, the graphics, like even just interacting with actual real life players. This new open world environment that they're building on, I really hope to see more of it in the future, because I think it's a really great addition. Other than that, the matches are fantastic. You can switch out players, you can switch in players, penalty shots, you can do all kinds of skills. Like, yeah, it's really exciting, and especially playing against another person, like not just the computer, can get really intense and fun. Yeah, so I definitely would recommend FIFA. Similarly, NBA and 2K NBA, that is also like FIFA. It's literally, in my opinion, the basketball version of it. There's a couple differences, of course, but yeah, it's like the basketball version of it. So if you're not into football but you're into basketball, 2K is the game for you. I'm not even that into basketball, so I didn't know whether I'd enjoy it, but I actually really like the game. Before FIFA was even doing this whole open world interaction, NBA was doing it, and even customizing the Jordans that you can wear really in detail. Like, bravo. The gameplay is fairly easy to get around as well. Even the first time I played it, I thought it was pretty cool, and it wasn't just because I whooped my ex's ass at the game. Gameplay was almost so easy, simple to get around that I was able to be a veteran player. If you're thinking like, why should I even get into gaming? What's the point? What's the benefit? Like, there's no point, because I know a lot of people, they tend to say they don't game, and I feel like you're really missing out on a huge fun part of life, because technology is all around us in games, and it's just evolving to a point that I think everyone can enjoy it. It's fun to play. You can have a detached moment. It's stress relieving. You can forget about your worries for a little bit and immerse yourself in a challenge or task that may seem pointless, but to you almost the achievement is worth something, and in that way it can help build up confidence. Like, I know a lot of people who, through gaming and online gaming and interacting with other people over the internet, they've actually built up their confidence, which is fantastic. It's challenging. It can really do wonders for your problem solving skills, and like, yeah, I think, you know, I feel like I'm a better person for it. No, really and truly, it's cool. It's really amazing, and like, I think I have now, like, it helps me to develop the skills of, okay, if I don't solve it this way, how would I solve it? Because even with certain missions, and even when you're playing like actual story-based games, everyone completes them in different ways, and sometimes even when I'm watching walkthroughs on YouTube, everyone like does things differently, and it's almost funny to see how someone has completed that mission in a different way to you, or like built their sim world in a different way to you. And oh my god, watching other people's sims is actually so entertaining, and I didn't expect it to be, but it's like the way they actually build their lives, I think it gives almost an insight to who that person is. But it is also so satisfying to complete a challenge that has like held you back. When you have completed a mission that you have just been struggling on, it feels fantastic. Games can help people become so much more creative, and creativity is what we need in this world. We need all the creative people we can get, so play that game. This video was just to encourage more people to get into gaming, because it is fantastic. If you just didn't know where to start, I'm telling you, all of these games are a great place. If there's a particular kind of game that you actually wanted to play, or you don't know, and you have a different genre in mind, drop me a comment. I will be able to find you. Thank you for watching. I hope this video helped anyone who needed some guidance. Feel free to share this with anyone else who needs some guides on where do they start with gaming. Like and subscribe if you are enjoying my content. I thank you already to the people who have subscribed and liked my last video. If you haven't seen it, I talk about coding and technology. So yeah, go check that out. I'm gonna link it at the end. I will have some more gaming content out later, so stick around for that. It will actually include some gameplay as well, and a little bit of vlogging and comparing some of the more popular titles and which one I think is better. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will chat to you later.